What's up, people? It's your boy Jatwan, and I'm here today back in Kerbal Space Program. We are back here with our Martian Duna lander. And the reason we're back today is because I kind of wanted to go into detail about how this actually worked. I know before I was kind of blabbing my mouth about everything on here, saying hinge this and propeller that and all sorts of things. And a lot of that was just probably good information, but tossed into the wind and forgotten pretty quickly. Okay, we're pretty good there. So let's go ahead and get ourselves back prograde. Now, the technique that I used for this one, I called it the hinge the hinge prop pivot, or whatever the hell I said there. That's I installed Scatterer today. I'm really happy about the effects. That's so dang beautiful. Sorry. But yes, the way I'm doing it, I am using a propeller to hinge on the center of mass. So it's kind of like a seesaw, so it's kind of just pushing up, down, and what have you until we come to a delicate balance of gliding in. Now, you see this craft currently, actually I removed the inflatable heat shield, and I've added on 4 wheels to assist me in coming down nice and gentle. So that's nice and good and going. So next thing we need to do is get this. We're not going to deploy the propeller quite yet. We're just going to bring this out here. Now my goal today is to land this thing successfully and explain to you exactly how this works. So first things first, let's get down into the atmosphere. Alright, so we are entering into the atmosphere. Now, the Duna atmosphere is very thin and it's not overly dangerous, one could say. We're not slamming in as fast as we would be on Mars or what have you. So I think that replacing the inflatable heat shield with just this regular heat shield should be fine. I prefer to have this heat shield on here because it's smaller and it's out of the way when I deploy my wheels. So what we have going on up top here, I've added on the fuel cell array and a little bit of fuel, just enough to keep the propeller going for a little bit of time. So it should give us a minimal amount of time for everything to happen. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and tweak my neck. I know, hair is gone. This feels so good when the cold weather hits, though. I will say that. Alright, so let's take a look at our thermals. We're still looking A-okay, plummeting in through this atmosphere. So, yeah, if you take a look here, what you have, you see this propeller, center of mass is actually back here, and then my center of lift is actually behind it. Now, I used my center of thrust to kind of play like a seesaw to elevate my nose up. That's going to allow me to kind of have a fake lift in the front by using that thrust in place of the lift that I am missing because I want to keep everything as narrow as possible up there. So, that being said, it gives us this nice sleek design that lets us punch through the atmosphere and at the same time not have anything extremely dangerous out there getting overheated, which is precisely what I was hoping for. So, what I need to do now is I need to soon bring it out of warp, and then I need to go and deploy and then activate that propeller. I'm keeping it deactivated for now so that way it is not in the way. And we're starting to see a little bit of ground scatter coming into play, so I can bring myself out of warp. Let me check our height. We are 8,000 up. We're still a little, no, we have flow. So we have FS coolant, which is what we need here. I'm gonna go back to stability assist. We are now going to deploy a propeller and make sure everything's down. We're going to turn on our fuel cell and then we're going to activate our engine. Okay, so what you'll see here as we come plummeting down even further is if I pull back on the throttle, if I pull back on, like, say the Good lord! If I pull back on the joystick, so for instance I hit S, it's not going to pull me up very well. There's just not enough maneuverability that we have on this craft to make this happen. So what we need to do is start up our propeller, and you'll see it's going to actually balance us out. So let's go ahead and do that. And now, along with our maneuver, our elvons and winglets, we can actually get a nice gentle balance with this craft. And I may have to play around with the throttle a bit, and just to make sure that we're not going to go over our, we're not going to flip this thing over. It is a little bit troubling at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll see that your craft actually is going to you actually want to nose it down just a bit, and that's going to allow you, and we're just gaining a lot of thrust here. And you see, we're just 7. Our thrust is at 7 currently. You don't need much thrust to compensate for the lift. So once again, we are hinging on this here, using that front propeller to just hinge ourselves upward ever so slightly until we have a nice gentle approach to the Duna surface, which is fantastic because otherwise you'd be in a lot of trouble. So I'm just gonna gently touch that thrust up a little bit, so we're coming in as smoothly as possible. Now, I could have put some air brakes on here. They wouldn't have done very much here on Duna, but they would have done a little something. I'm not sure if I will need those. We'll see if hopefully I can land this thing as gentle as possible with the wheels down and see what we get. And then we can blow off all these things and see about getting our rover, which is stowed in here, out safe. So this is a nice, safe, cushy method of getting your aircraft or your rover into the atmosphere. You're not doing anything extremely difficult. You're just gliding it in like you would a normal spacecraft. So if you're just dropping your rover off, this could definitely work. It's not too expensive, and you're mostly just using cheap, inexpensive wings if they survive your insertion. Of course, Eve would be a bit more difficult. You would definitely have to use the inflatable heat shield on Eve. So we're going to drop our wheels down, and we're going to start to come up a little bit more, because right now we're coming down at 12 meters per second. I'm going to try to bring this as close as possible as I would normally land this. Alright, we're good, we're good. Alright, brakes. Oh dear God. Oh, hold it together. Hold it together. Hold it together. That is how it's done. That is how it's done. That was absolutely beautiful. I don't think I could have nailed that any better than what I did right there. So let's jettison our heat shield. That's gone. Just trying to get everything out of the way as we can. We're actually going to leave that on, and we're going to actually give it a little bit of lift, so when we detach this thing, it's going to pull it out of the way. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Quick save. 3, 2, 1, and go. And does it do it? It gets it ever so slightly out of the way. That was beautiful. Okay. So now we have our regular vehicle here. And all we have to do is gently drive ourselves out of the way here. And we are clear. Our rover is clear. Let's turn off our brakes. That might make life a little easier for us. And random explosions! Alright, so there you go. That's how it was supposed to look. That was how it was supposed to go. Things are still randomly exploding behind us. I'm not sure why. But that would be the delivery system for this little rover. And it works absolutely beautifully. I'm glad I took the time. I spent the time to get it right and made sure this is my first test of the modifications. And it worked beautifully. So I am thrilled that that happened the way I hoped it would. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button. Drop me in the comment. Let me know what you think. And I hope to catch you guys in the next video. For now, this is your boy Jatwan. I'm out. Peace. I think this could work. Issa, I think this could work. Really need to get him off the ground. We have parts going everywhere, guys. Holy crap. Oh, no. Oh. Somehow, in all of that,